article written by The Week. It takes place in the 2014 Sochi Olympic Games and in Russia. During this time, there was controversy over how Putin sees the games as a way to put the spotlight on Russia and how he hosted an extravagant Olympic Games despite how unprepared Russia is to host these games politically and economically. In the article, it says hosting the games will cost cash-strapped Russia $51 billion, but you wouldn't know it from Putin's Potemkin version of a world-class Olympic venue. From this, you can see that Russia clearly has many internal issues, and Putin's decision to host an expensive Olympic Games has caused large amount of controversy.
The audience that the article is intended for is political leaders and adults who follow politics. The reason that the article is intended for that audience is because in hosting Olympic Games, Vladimir is attempting to convince other political leaders that Russia is economically stable and becoming more powerful. Some evidence that proves this is in the article. It says, economically becoming power whose influence in Eastern Europe and Middle East is coming back. This shows that Vladimir is trying to convince the world that Russia is becoming an economic power and is booming.
The purpose of the article is to show the audience how Vladimir Putin wanted to host the Olympic Games to show how economically stable Russia had become and how Russia had changed and became much more powerful than before. Some evidence from the article that proves this is Vladimir Putin wanted the Sochi Winter Olympics to be a showcase of modern Russia. This quote shows how Putin wants the world to know that Russia is becoming powerful again and how caught up with the rest of the world Russia is by hosting the Olympic Games and spending more money on it than anyone else.
Welcome to Channel 5 News. I'm Zach Shropshire here with news on the recent controversial Sochi Games in Russia. There has been talk over Putin's decision to host the Sochi Games. Reporter Alex Gao has the news.
Hi, I'm here with...
So, dude, Vladimir here.
Okay then, Mr. Putin, I just wanted to ask you a few questions over the recent Olympic Games.
Oh, I'm just chilling. Don't worry.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Okay. The recent Olympic Games has reportedly costed over $51 billion, and this was during a time of great financial stress for the Russian people. Why did you decide to go with such an expensive event?
You see, the world has got to know that you're great again. Make Russia great again.
Okay. So, right. So, how do you plan to pay for the Olympic Games?
Well, you see, you have to take the money from your citizens. You have to overtax them. And they'll do it, trust me. You just have to say, make Russia great again.
Okay, so this is starting to remind me of a certain someone. But how will your citizens agree to pay such an increased tax? Won't they refuse to let this pass?
I mean, some might refuse, but once I give them the speech of how we're making Russia great again, they'll do it.
Okay. Okay, I guess that was the interview. Thanks for having me. Back to you, Zach.
Okay, I think we can all agree that was an interesting interview. Drew, what were your thoughts?
Well, that was a real shame, guys.
Make the Russia great again.
Throughout our skit, our group used various humor techniques to hopefully make our skit funnier and more enjoyable to watch.
Our first technique that we used was the element of surprise. During the interview, we had a reporter that would ask questions that were very serious and professional to Putin, and this led the viewer to believe that this was a serious interview. However, the viewers quickly got a surprise when they realized that the Putin was actually responding with irrelevant answers, which made the audience laugh.
Another technique we used was satire. Throughout the interview, we exaggerated Putin's responses to provide humor by showing how silly Putin's actions are.
We also used parody and association through Putin's catchphrase, "Make Russia Great Again." This phrase was taken from Donald Trump's slogan and associates that silliness of Trump with the silly actions of Putin during the interview.
Thank you guys for watching.